Take 69. It's been quite some time. Yeah, the Tino take, as well as everything that I've been doing online, is taking a break, which is nothing new, especially when it comes to Steemit. Over the years that I've been on Steemit, there have been moments where I have needed to take a break, not just from Steemit, but sometimes from the internet completely. And what's interesting is that every time I come back to Steemit, it really changes radically. Every time that I have taken a break and come back, I've just completely found all just new situations and new things that are happening, changes, and so that means I just have to kind of go and dig deep and try to figure out what has changed. What's good is that it's changed for the better. Now, the Tino take is a smartcast that I put together last year in response to what was happening between the Steam Hive split. I was writing a lot of posts and giving my opinions on things, and it just wasn't enough. So, I've described this before in the past, and I'm not going to go through that. We are on take 69, so it is all about getting on with moving forward and not having to constantly repeat and give an introduction to this SmartCast. Now, I will talk a little bit about SmartCast because it's been almost a week now. This Tino take should have taken off some time ago. I wanted to do the Italian version first because I have been given a lot of support by the Italian community ever since I've become more involved in it, since last year, basically. Since I got involved and helped out with the country representative, with the building up of a community, the creating of a smart cast that addresses the Italian community. So that's been a lot of fun being embraced by that community. It's grown a lot, so that's one of the things that has changed. I came back and found 2,000 plus subscribers to the Italy community. I see that the main core of the group is still intact. They're still all working together. And what's amazing is that they set up a witness node. I would have never expected that. So in coming back, I found that the Italian community has set up a witness node. It's set up a new app to help people with the automatic voting and voting trails, and because apparently there's some trouble with the Steam Auto. I noticed that the Steam Auto, it's still there, but it's switched over to another domain, and I don't know if the problems began with the old domain or with the new domain. I haven't looked into it, and nobody's really informed me as to what's going on with the Steam Auto. I actually disengaged. I've cut off all apps. So the only app I'm hooked into right now is Steemit, the actual Steemit app, and I'm using, as always, Steam World for the behind the scenes details of notifications and things of that nature. It would be nice if we could have everything in one, but we don't. And this seems to be part of the phenomenon of the Steam blockchain. I think that's one of the things that complicates it a little bit too. The fact that there are so many apps. Now, when it was pre-Hive days, you had so many apps. You had an app for this, an app for that. And I think it's a bit much. I think one of the successes that gave rise to Facebook was having so much within the platform, not having to go outside of the platform. I think that's something that Steemit should hopefully aspire towards, to have the condenser, the Steemit app itself, increase its functionality. Now, that's for another day. I'm freestyling it today. I'm basically this was a long-winded way of saying I wanted to do this Tino take days ago, but I did my first SmartCast. I did my first official SmartCast days ago, which is the Italian version of this SmartCast, in which I had an Italian version that started last year at the same time that this started. Now, these SmartCasts are not solely dedicated to Steam It. This is the Tino take, and it's just my take on things. Now, it may be my take on today, it may be my take on what's going on with Steam It. Tomorrow, I may be talking about what's going on, in the world of in the crazy world that we're living in nowadays. But for now, I just wanted to get back into things. I realized that the main core of whatever audience exists, I don't know, I can't quantify that, is basically on Steam It. So I direct myself towards that. So the Italian community is doing a lot of things. The price of Steam has gone up since I was last around. And I dropped off around the end of last year. I think it was around December. Dropped off, had some personal things in life, so my real life, the non-virtual life takes precedent, and it's the priority over what goes on in the virtual world, what goes on the computer online. When I have things that I need to situate in my real life, then online gets put to the side, and I'm fortunate that I'm able to do that. It's amazing to think that this technology has become, for so many people, an addiction, a very strong addiction, and an unconscious addiction. People aren't even aware, because we associate with drugs and we associate with alcohol. Most of us can't imagine that we're addicted to our cell phones and being online for hours and hours, day in and day out. Fortunately, when I have priorities in my life that need to get situated, I just kind of disengage from the online world without a problem, and then come back and find that it's completely changed. So as I was saying, the price of Steam is going up. I don't know why. The value of the Steam dollar is up just crazy. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. And the only thing that I can think, look, when I left in December, what was happening? There was a conference that was being held by the Tron Foundation. We had an important Steamian who was present and able to pitch that to the community. So I can imagine there are several things going on. One, the Tron community is engaging more into Steam It, because I've also had a look at the number of daily users, and that has doubled. Since I last left, it was hovering somewhere around 1,800 to 2,000, sometimes a little bit more than that. Now I'm seeing that it's going beyond 4,000 daily active users per day. That's amazing. That is amazing. A doubling of that, a doubling of the price. The Steam dollar has tripled. I mean, something crazy was going on when I left, and it was around $3. Now it's up to around $9. So I have no idea what's going on with all of this. It's amazing to look into my wallet and see the value that it has for all of the Steam that I've powered up over the years. And so, yeah, there's a lot to dig into. So now I'm seeing that Steam It is going strong. The Steam It team is still managing a lot of country representatives. And the last blog post was dedicated to adding more country representatives, and that's great. It's I can see the structure forming. I can see the structure forming, and it's something that has stifled Steam It as a company pre-Tron days. So it's the organizational power of a dynamic aggressive like Justin Sun that steps in and says, okay, let's take this to a higher level. I don't know what his vision is for the future of Steam It, but it's obviously something positive and something in the way of growth. I wish I could see or hear from him what it is that he sees, because dynamic aggressives have this ability to look 10, 20, 30 years into the future for a project and set those macro goals like that. No one else has that capacity like a dynamic aggressive. So Obviously, I see and feel that there are good things coming for Steem at the Steem blockchain, so long as Justin Sun and the Tron Foundation and Steemit Inc. These are all new. They've all been renewed. Yeah, Steemit Inc.'s been around for a while, but it's under new ownership now, and that new ownership has made a lot of changes that have made it positive. Well, no one can tell the future. No one knows how these things will go in the future. But so far, it's in a positive direction, and, you can't help but appreciate that. So the Steemit team is working on some Steem Academy. I had a dip into that. It's basically what I had said in the past. I'm noticing that it's being actualized now. That the Steemit team is moving up the structure and forming a hierarchy that really can allow for the delegation of responsibilities and growth in such a way that smaller units can handle different areas, while let's say the upper echelon can focus and concentrate more on what the company needs. So, I still think that Steemit has, let's say a kind of a niche and a trap. A niche because it is a social media platform dedicated to cryptocurrencies, a trap because it does trap itself into the cryptocurrency world while trying to be a social media platform as an alternative. But I think the good thing is that you focus on your core audience, which is cryptocurrency. I believe that a lot of the people who are coming in, the doubling of daily users since I left has to be in part the Steemit team, the work that they've done, Tron Foundation bringing in new users, but also the cryptocurrency world itself with its growing popularity because of the skyrocketing price of Bitcoin, which will obviously continue to go up. Dogecoin is going up. All other Bitcoins, all other cryptocurrency coins, a lot of them are going up because there's just more money that's being invested in it. This may be one of the reasons why even Steem and the Steem dollar. But I think that also has a lot to do with the fact that Justin Sun is a name out there in the cryptocurrency world. So he's going to pull in investors. So long as he stays in, so long as it's something that is part of his vision for the future, and so long as, his name is associated with it, then other people are going to come into it. Unbeknownst to us, Justin Sun could just be sitting down at some kind of event talking to people, and just mentioning, I know I'm the founder of the Tron Foundation. I own Steemit Inc. And, people ask questions like, what's that? What's Steemit Inc.? What's Tron? And, oh, it's a social media platform, Steemit. Oh, wow. Let me look it up. And, and that in and of itself, that small moment could bring in another large investor because, hey, Justin Sun is the type of person who rubs elbows with people who have a lot of money. Let's just put it bluntly. So it wouldn't take much for people to get interested in what he's interested in because, he's made his fortune. So, he catches the attention of people who are also looking to invest into something interesting, especially if they have, deep pockets. So my man Pensive came back. And so we have Steem News is back, and just no one does it better than Pensive. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but he's been around for a long time. He's done the Steem News. He's the ultimate aggregator of what the hell is happening on Steem, whether it be the app or the blockchain. So it's real exciting that, he's back and that the Steem News is there. I kind of threw a suggestion out there. It would be great if he did, some kind of podcast where these news items could be spoken out vocally. But because Steemit is such a written word oriented, because it's text going onto the blockchain, so a lot of people are more inclined towards the text, and maybe he himself, having had so much experience and having had so many posts, that it becomes easy for him to write things out, have links, and then obviously those links send notifications to other people if their contest is being highlighted. And it's a really, really good strategy for posting. I mean, and it's also something that's very valuable to the Steam It community. He's also been nominated, and I think he's only been back a couple of months, but he's also been nominated the country representative for the UK. I thought that was going to be Stephen Kindle. Maybe he did it for a little while, or maybe he changed his mind. But I remember that there was a time when Stephen was supposed to be the UK country representative. Maybe that never ended up happening. And so now there is Pensif, who's going to be handling the country representative for the UK. It's surprising that the UK doesn't have more people, because you would think that the English-speaking countries would have a larger representation in Steam It because of, because the English-speaking community just loves the social media platforms. But I guess I'm learning that is not, that's something that's changing in a global setting. People from all around the world now want to be on some kind of social media platform. And the South Korean community is still dominating the trending page, but I see that the Steam It team has obviously started to pin certain posts up at the top of the main trending page. But for the most part, those who are trending the strongest community-wise, as well as individual posters, and it's basically the same people. So more power to them. They still got that on lockdown, and they have an interesting system that they've created. I tried to dip into it a little bit, but I'm not into all of these complicated acrobatics. To get some strong upvotes to get trending, because I'm realizing that the trending page really doesn't do much for most people. I mean, it's not the go-to place. This is why I think in Steam It there's the subdividing down into all these different communities, because people want to have a useful trending. So I go into the Italian community, and it's the same people trending, but we got new people coming in. We have people who have come back from Hive, so that's positive. My Steam links, I started a community, Steam links. I thought I would come back and find that dead, but that has grown. A lot of people have subscribed to it, and there are a lot of people who are contributing Steam links in the Steam Link community. A vast majority of them are dedicated to cryptocurrency. So, but anyway, that's going good. And don't know. I will be working on some other smart casts, and hopefully I will be able to pump out more. Now, what I hadn't gotten to, I was alluding to it at the beginning, but I'm recording with a smartphone now. The other day, I did the Italian version of the SmartCast, and it's actually the very first official SmartCast that I did 100% with a smartphone. And that was the original intent for SmartCasting, but I never got to do it because I always had a PC to work with. So the other day, I didn't have a PC available, and we wanted to get the SmartCast out. I had the country representative for Italy, Girolamo, who joined me, and I did it. It was, you had to work with a couple of apps. You had to do a couple of conversions, a couple of uploads, but it was an amazing moment for me because I finally actualized the actual concept of what smart casting is. Broadcasting with solely a smartphone. And I was really happy about that. So now this is my second official SmartCast because I'm doing this all with a smartphone. and we'll see how it goes. It creates problems for me to be able to post up the way that I used to. I used to post up the Tino take, and then you would have about 10 prior episodes, and notes and links, and I used to have my notes in front of me on the screen while I was doing the show. So right now I just got smartphone in my hand and I'm kind of winging it and seeing how it goes. But the original concept of smartcasting has finally been actualized. I've done it, and it can be done completely 100% with a smartphone. You can broadcast, you can create your own show. Obviously does not have the same quality as a computer, but hey, it's all about overcoming obstacles and giving people the opportunity to be able to do something with whatever little they have without excuses or without saying, I don't have this, I don't have that. Do your best with what you have available to you. So that's going to be this Smartcast for today, just kind of to get it kicked off and to have my first official English language Smartcast, all done with a smartphone. So, yep, good to be back. I have some other Smartcasts coming out, and I'll start looking into some other topics to get out there. And let's see where this goes. As always, thank you for listening.